We're back, baby. Let's go. See, I told you we were quick. We're we're really friggin' fast. All right, let me send I'll send Jason over this thing. Hold on. There you go if you want to hop in. We're back. Let's go, Tim. We're back, and now we can friggin' put you up on the screen. 3 streams in one night. Record. I'm already breaking records. The Nighthawk has landed, and sound is way better too. What? It's OBS, man. It's definitely OBS then. Lord Schlong. What the heck? So many streams. Make sure they don't cross. We're in the army. We do what we want. In sword crossing, piss crossing, whatever. All right. Here we go. This is what we've been waiting for. Where's the dragon? There he is.
What's up, Nighthawk?
I'm going to wait until you fall asleep. I want to punch you right in the face for tying me.
I'm going to put my nutsack on your forehead.
Well, shoot, I was about to say something. I can't say that because we're on YouTube. I was just going to quote the next line. So I saw that, in the other stream, you were talking about the new riff.
Yeah, dude.
So
the new riff's going to haunt me now the rest of my life because I talk shit about it. That's how, listen, I knew it was new riff as soon as I fucking smell, as soon as he said, is it new riff? Is it will it? Is it peerless? As soon as I smell, I'm like, that's fucking new riff because new riff has this weird, I don't know. There's something to new riff that I always pick up that I don't always like. And so I knew it was new riff from the get-go. Now, the fact that I couldn't figure out that shit was a rye, that's what kills me because it was so sweet, and it was the sweetest new riff rye I've ever had. And I was like, son of a bitch, I can't believe that was a rye.
Now, when he told us that it was a rye, did you go back and immediately be like, no, that's a rye?
Yeah. As soon as because he was like, so you know how he kept asking, hey, is this, I need you to be more specific.
Yeah.
Like I kind of figured he was trying to, ask me if it was the bourbon or rye. And what I should have done was go back and taste it one more time. But I didn't. I went with bourbon. And as soon as I sent it and then went back and tasted it, I'm like, fuck, that's a rye. I'm like, it's got to be a rye because it was so citrusy. So I left a few points on the table with that one. That's the one that could have put me over the top. It's going to haunt me now.
I've never owned a new riff bottle, nor did I own a Peerless. And I was like, man, okay, this is not a Willet product. And that does not taste like any Jephthah that I've had.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's got to be new riff or Peerless. So that was a total guess on my end. I had no idea. And then I didn't think that was a rye until he told me.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's just my brain was like, no, that's not rye enough for you.
When I first nosed it, I thought it was MGP because it was so citrusy. Oh my God, this has got to be MGP. And then he puts up the question, is it new riff? Is it this? I'm like, holy shit, MGP isn't even in the conversation. I was like, what the hell is this? And then I kept smelling it. And I've owned, so Scott asked, have you never owned a new riff bottle? New Riff is one of those brands that I definitely like what they do, but I've had more bad bottles than good, especially with the single barrels. It's got a very youthful, bitter like tinge to it, and that's what I picked up in that one. That's how I knew it was New Riff. It just wasn't coming off as a rye for me. Until I went back to it, I'm like, this is so citrusy. This is probably a fucking rye, and it was.
So to answer Scott, who said, "How have you never owned a new riff?" We do not get new riff here. At least that I've seen. I've never came across one. So no, and I'm talking even just regular stuff. So
A regular new riff you can't get.
It's not here. So I haven't tried it. So that's why when we went into it, I was kind of like, man, it's got to be one of those two. And, at this point, I have 3 seconds left, so I just have to type something,
Yeah. I mean, I agree. Prescription bourbon. New riff is really hit and miss for me. I've had, just for me personally, though, I've had more like off-putting single barrel picks than good. So, and that, whatever Matt sent me, that rye that he sent me, had that weird tinge to it on the back end that made me feel like that's new riff. That's got to be new riff because it's got like this weird, it's like almost like a sour, like almost like a nail polish remover note that I get on it. It's really weird. It's hard to explain, but I picked it up immediately on that glass as soon as I smelled it.
So I guess I guess what we can do is just kind of go through our answers and I guess explain why we picked what we picked, or what our thought process.
Yeah, for sure.
Going into it.
So going through the nose first.
Yep.
I mean, one, I was good. I definitely felt like that was new riff.
Yep.
What was the second question for number 2? That was
it was what state was this distilled in?
Oh yeah, state. So I said Washington because I was getting like root beer and cream soda on the nose, which reminds me of Woodinville. I was thinking Woodinville off the nose.
That was the one. I'm trying to remember what they turned out to be. I'm just looking at my answers.
Wasn't 2 the
Sam Houston?
Wasn't that the Doc Swinson's?
Or yeah, it's Doc Swinson. Doc Swinson. Yeah.
Yeah.
I said Indiana for no other reason other than I was like, I don't know, maybe he tried to switch. I didn't figure he had a wild range that he was going to send us.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen him do Woodinville, and I don't know why that got stuck in my head. That's the other thing. I think that's the other part of like watching the other blinds. You kind of get fixated on like stuff that he has, and you're thinking, oh, what could he have sent me?
You play the game a little bit. It's like, what does Matt have? What is he? Yeah. What did he send us? Yeah,
but until I tasted it. So when I tasted it, I said that's something from Heaven Hill, but it ended up being that Beam profile. It had that nuttiness to it.
It had the total nuttiness.
Yeah, and that's what kind of flipped my script on that one. I'm like, oh shit. Well, I fucked that one up. There's no way that's from Washington. That's Heaven Hill or Beam. I went with Heaven Hill, but then I was thinking, man, I know he has a lot of the Beam stuff. That's 78.5 corn. In hindsight, you're like, oh man, that's what I probably should have guessed, but I went with Heaven Hill. But
I definitely
Doc Swinson's does source from Heaven Hill a lot too. So
yeah,
I was hoping to hit that one, but
I always call those, for me personally, because I don't own any of those bottles. But the first thing I think of when I taste them, and why I even guessed 14, so I guess that one was 14 years old. Yeah. Is because it reminds me of like a 14-year-old Knob Creek pick or something.
Yeah, I mean, you nailed the age. I mean, for me and Dusty, for us, like it didn't come off as something that old. And maybe that's because that Doc Swinson's doesn't really have a super high proof to it, so it just wasn't coming off like something with a lot of age to it for whatever.
No. And like I said, I only guess that because it reminds me of my Knob Creek that's 14. So
yeah, for sure, man.
The proof, though, definitely does not do it justice. It does.
No, it doesn't.
It takes away from it for sure.
Yeah, it came off thinner. It just didn't. It wasn't like doing it for me. I almost said Bardstown Discovery 4 again. I was this close to guessing that, but and actually probably would have been closer with that guess because that does have the 78.5, Beam juice in it.
Yeah. But I guessed Calumet on that bottle. I've never even tried that bottle, to be honest. I was just like, man, what's a 14-year-old bottle that's kind of lower? Honestly, I don't even know what the proof of that is.
Yeah.
But
the Calumet, the new one, the 15 is like 105-ish proof, I believe. So
what was the 14?
The 14 was a little bit lower than that. So
I thought it was lower, and that's why I was like, man, that tasted lower proof, and it tasted older, so I just went with it.
Yeah.
Without ever trying it.
No, that was a good guess on your part right there.
Yeah, David talking about the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof B batch coming out, getting bad reviews. $70 is expensive to be mediocre.
I can't say I've had or seen that one yet, so I don't know, man.
I won't get it for another 6 months, so stay tuned. We just last week is when we got the A batch.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember you saying that. So
what's up, Jared Hardwick? I've never seen you in my chat. So hope you're new. We need to have a loser's wild card bracket, man. That would be fun.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, you got like 3 people in some of the brackets. You kind of gotta maybe even that out a little bit.
Pure Mustard, good to see you. Jay Fretless.
Yeah. Tim Evans says that Costco is releasing Barton branded bottles now. So
really,
yeah, Costco is releasing like some single barrel Barton bourbons. There's friggin' Barton everywhere. It's insane.
It's just, I guess I don't understand. Do they make more money doing that versus releasing things under new labels for themselves? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, you sell casks at a premium, and you can, they probably, sometimes they'll make mash bills and they'll distill and they'll fill barrels for certain brands, and if sometimes, when you put a mash in a mash tun and you're, waiting for that shit to ferment, you're not really sure. I'm sure now they could probably feel like they know what it's going to yield. How much bourbon they're going to get out of that specific mash. And if there's more or less than whatever they need, they have enough to sell more casks to sourcing. So especially the ones that are higher aged, those things go, especially Kentucky bourbon. I mean, those are going to sell, especially in today's market. Yeah, under Kirkwood.
What about this? Even if B521 is worse than other batches, it's probably going to be better than most barrel proof at that price point, right?
Yeah.
In my opinion, probably, yeah.
Yeah, I would agree.
Even the worst of the lot is still better than I feel like most other people putting out. So
yeah, and now the thing that annoys me though with the Elijah Craig barrel proof, if B521 is coming off as thin as people are saying, that could kill it for me, because it always has a viscosity to it that I love, and if it's coming off thinner than what it normally is, that would kind of bother me, I think. But it's exactly, as long as it's still tasting pretty good, it's probably still better than most of the barrel proof bourbons that people pay for.
If something happens to me, Jason, in the next 5 minutes, then there's someone in the garage and they're gonna kill me.
Are you serious, man? Get your army shit out.
I'm about to, man. I'm about to go clear. Something just fell, or something just happened.
Dude, time to clear the room, dude. Clear the house.
Like, I'm on edge now, man. Like, that just it shook the wall right here, right behind me.
Yeah.
And I was looking, maybe Biggin. I was like, is Biggin outside? No, Biggin's right over there. Oh, shoot. So let me ask you this, because this is something I thought about too.
Yeah.
This new batch is the lowest batch that I've ever seen of Elijah Craig barrel proof.
Yeah, it's a low proof. Yeah.
But, nothing against lower proof, but I've noticed a trend. It seems like some of their batches are getting lower and lower, and I like, why?
Well, I mean, you got to remember, it's all how it's aging, man. I mean, it depends on, it's all weather and aging. And I know some people have some conspiracy theories that Elijah Craig is starting to water down the Elijah Craig barrel proofs a little bit so they could stretch it more and sell more bottles. I don't know if there's any truth to that. Because remember, there's no industry standard. There's no specific rule for barrel proof. So you could put something out as barrel proof, like say something comes out, like for instance these Lux Row picks that we did for the Mash and Journey. These came out of this one particularly came out of the barrel. You see 126.
Yep.
They're gonna cut it down to 120 and still call it barrel proof.
And that's the thing, because there's no law that says
there's no
anything
rule
about
for
it.
It's the same as small batch. It could be 2 barrels. It could be 4,000 barrels. There's no given law for it. A lot of people think that barrel proof is, as soon as whatever comes out of the cask, that's what it is. That's not the case in today's market, unfortunately.
No, and like, oh gosh, dang it. So Trevor 2.0. Just kidding. Proof isn't everything, though. Good flavor and viscosity can still be there with lower proof.
Yeah,
and I agree. I'm only saying that in terms of, like, I guess I'm questioning, are they kind of going the route of let's stretch this a little bit? Or
I mean, it's a valid question. I mean, I don't think so. I think Heaven Hill makes enough stuff that they have plenty of barrels that they wouldn't need to do that. I just think, it's nature, man. When you have when it's not as hot and you have a little bit more cold weather, you're going to drop in proof, and maybe that's what that specific batch of barrels went through. So
now this is something that I feel like you can answer, and I have no idea about.
Yeah.
Do we know why the picks are going to be around 8 instead of 12?
So I'm going to ask that question. So I'm picking an ECBP next week. And from what I was told, they're at least 9 years old. But I've heard from other people that have come in and told me that some of the other picks that they've seen have gone up to 11. So, Heaven Hill is not very forthcoming with what they tell you up front before you go pick. So as soon as I get back from the pick, I will tell you guys all the information that I get. But I think the difference is, those 12 years are special. They know that they're big. Like if I was running Heaven Hill and I had those Elijah Craig barrel proof 12 years and I know how well they sell, and you guys know how well they sell, I wouldn't want to fuck with that. So let's take our 9-year, 10-year ECBP pick, or I'm sorry, just a regular Elijah Craig picks, and offer them. And we're already offering them as picks. Let's add a barrel proof edition. People are going to go ape shit for it regardless.
Yep.
So I think that's the business mindset behind it.
What's up, Timothy Juarez? Never seen you in the chat. Glad you're here. Here's another question for both of us. If given the ability, would you push for specific definitions of barrel proof or cask strength or entry proof into law?
No, I would. Well, one, I would say no on entry proof. I like that different distilleries play with entry proof. I think it's what could define a specific flavor profile in a distillery. You look at Peerless, you look at Wilderness Trail, you look at Michter's. I almost said Michter's.
It's okay.
I mean, you look at those three, and all three of those are very well known for having young distillate with that low entry proof. That's very, very impressive for what it is. I think it makes a difference. But as far as barrel proof, I don't know if I'd want a specific thing for that. I feel like I would. I just feel like, just if it's going to be barrel proof, we want to know that is what it's coming out of the barrel at, not proof down 6 or 7 or 8 points. Why do that? I'm not sure. So
that's my thing too. Like, you have so many different terms for essentially the same thing. I feel like there should be one term that designates this is what it came out of the barrel, no unadulterated anything. We dumped the barrel and then bottled it, period. No nothing. No ifs or, well, technically we did this. No. It should be what it came out as, and maybe call that if you want to designate one of them as a law, and if you call it cask strength and you want to do some loophole bullcrap, then so be it. But at least one of them should have the classification of this is regulated. This is what came out of the barrel. We did not proof this down in any way.
You have laws going into the barrel. You can't go over 125 going in. I just don't. It's interesting that they don't have anything for it coming out of the barrel. If you're going to call it barrel proof, I feel like it should come out of the barrel what it is, and you shouldn't be allowed to proof it down and still call it barrel proof. I mean,
there should be at least one. Like, just pick barrel proof and make it a law to where if you want to put barrel proof on your label, that's what it has. It has to come out of the barrel into your bottle. Period. You can't do anything to it.
Exactly. I agree with that. I think entry proof, though, they should leave alone. I think people play with entry proof, and because of that, we get more variety in flavors as you kind of go through everything. So entry proof, leave alone, because I like tasting something. Heaven Hill is very known for doing 125 entry proof on everything, including their wheaters, which is surprising. That's why I think I don't like Larceny barrel proof, because they go in the barrel at 125 when historically wheaters are known to go in at a lower proof because it's a little bit more of a delicate grain. So that's why I think Larceny does really poorly for me personally on the flavor it has at a younger age. But the old Fitz's, when you get into like the 14, 15, 16 year, they're delicious. So I don't really like them as younger whiskeys.
Yeah, I don't think the entry thing, I don't think that should be touched. Like, like Wild Turkey stuff, they have that bottle that they're barrel proof, isn't it like 89? It's something super low, straight from the barrel.
For what?
One of the Wild Turkey products?
Yeah, it's the Russell's 2000 and 2003.
And isn't it super, super low?
Yeah, because it was the last barrels that used their legacy entry barrel proof at like 105.
So yeah, I think that creates that's just a unique thing, and you shouldn't tamper with entry proof.
Yep. Colin Murray is asking me about the new Lagavulin Guinness Offerman. Yeah, I just filmed that before Matt's tasting, bracket challenge. I'll tell you this: if you're a Lagavulin purist and you love the smoke, the peat, you love like that barbecued like fruit characteristic it has, and then like the meatiness that it has as well, a little bit like that smoked barbecue note. I'm not sure you'll like the Guinness cask finish, because the Guinness cask definitely makes an impression on that Lagavulin. You get the chocolate, you get the nuttiness, you get a little bit of the bitterness as well, all from the Guinness cask. And it's pretty impressive because it's only was sitting in there for like 4 months. It's like 4 to 5 months was the finishing on it. So I like it because I love stout beers. So I like the chocolate and the smoke together. But if you're a Lagavulin purist and you're looking for all those flavors you would expect in a Lagavulin, I'm not sure you would like it. But, I feel like if you're going to buy a Lagavulin finish in Guinness, you're really not looking for that. You're looking for something different. So
he's a Lagavulin purist.
I am. Lagavulin is my go-to. All right, so the Guinness one, even though I think it's pretty good, but it might disappoint you in some ways because I really do feel like the Guinness overtakes some of those nuanced Lagavulin flavors that people really love. And so yeah.
Like, okay, Jake, that's what I'm saying is they should just designate one of the terms, because you have cask strength, you have barrel proof, you have, all of these words, uncut, unfiltered, all of that crap. They should just designate one of them to mean there is no water, there is no filtering, there's just freaking nothing. It's from the barrel to the bottle. And it's that term legally means that. That's what they should do. Instead of having barrel proof, cask strength, whatever, which could all mean, they could all mean the same thing, or they could mean, well, yeah, we cut it down a little bit, or we did nothing to it. We don't know.
Yeah, it definitely mean the same thing. So it's just
they could all mean the same thing. There should be one though that should be legally binding.
But dude, man, I don't think anything that you see with the with the labels nowadays, it's just the TTB has gotten more lax than anything. So
yeah.
I don't think we'll see that anytime soon. I mean, you see what's happening with the finishes, and somehow they're calling like flavored whiskey still bourbon. I don't even know how it's happening, but it's happening. They're finding loopholes somehow.
Maybe you asked me this. I think you asked me this. What do I think about these wine finished bourbons?
Yeah.
Should they still be called a bourbon?
Yeah, I like.
So what is your take on that?
I like to ask a lot of people that because it's one of those. Because listen, you buy a finishing cask, so you can buy a big wine barrel to finish a bourbon in it, and you never know if you're going to get a very, very wet cask, which sometimes may have some juice left in there, and then you're going to pour your bourbon in there, and then it's essentially a blend, and yet you can still call it bourbon. Or are you using a generally dry cask that you have to rehydrate to put your bourbon in there and to re-age it and finish it? There's some gray area. There's a lot of gray area there that's not designated for any sort of designation. So I don't know. For me, I don't get too crazy about it. I think good whiskey is good whiskey. And as long as you tell me what it's being finished in, for how long, then I'm happy.
I was gonna say, what do they say? Like, what is a? Let me grab one. I want to see what like the marketing lingo is on a finished bourbon, because I want to know what they I want to know what they call it now.
Yeah, they just as long as you put finished in and then whatever it was finished in, that's usually what you're supposed to put. So yeah, you have that Thomas Moore.
Yeah, I just grabbed one of them.
All right. So what does it say on that? That's the
Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey finished in port casks. I mean, if you think about it, I mean that's totally true. They took a straight bourbon whiskey and finished it in port casks.
Yeah, that's about the best you get.
So
they don't say for how long though, right?
They on the back though, I think it's rumored, but on the back it says that they finish this one for years. Is what they say.
For years?
For years, not 4 years, for years. So multiple years finished in a wine barrel.
Oh, that's interesting.
Which, I talked about this before. Like typically, I feel like when you finish it in a bourbon or a wine barrel, it's like months.
Yeah.
So to put it in a wine cask for years?
Young Pei Chang has a good question. What do you think is our current generation's E.H. Taylor to potentially push for truth in advertising, like with the Bottle and Bond Act? I would look no further. I can think of two distilleries that come to mind immediately. One is Bardstown Bourbon Company, and two is Chattanooga. Bardstown Bourbon Company tells you exactly what's in the blend, tells you where they source it from, It may not tell you the exact distillery, but at least they give you the mash bill, so you could kind of figure it out. They give you the exact, term that it was being finished in whatever it was being finished in. Then you have Chattanooga, who comes to me off the top of my head. I mean, if you looked at the side of a Chattanooga cask or a Chattanooga bottle, they tell you the age, they tell you the barley they used, they tell you the barrel they used, everything. So I think that's great transparency.
Hey, Jason, if you ever go to Chattanooga, you let me know, and I will make the drive over there.
Dude, September, I'm planning a meetup.
Well, then I will be there.
Yeah, you should come. There's gonna be some really amazing shit happening at that meetup. I'm just previewing it for you guys.
Well, you count me in 100%. I will be there.
Yep.
Ooh. This is a bottle that I absolutely freaking love.
Bull Run. Yeah, 13 years in New Oak and 9 months in Oregon. Pinot barrel. Yeah. I mean, as long as you give me somebody wants to challenge EBA 101 boxing wants to challenge me to my Street Fighter 2. I will Hadouken your ass. Hadouken.
I don't know, man. Look at that logo he's got. He's legit.
Yeah, I mean, in real life, he'll probably beat the shit out of me, but on Street Fighter, I could probably put up a good fight.
EBA boxing. If you don't have that machine in your house, then you lost. You lose.
Dude, I played that whole thing growing up. For like with my friends, like we used to collect quarters and go to this specific deli that had that machine. And when, they started putting these out, like you can own it in your house, I was like, I never thought I'd own this machine. And now it's like sitting down here. I should play it all the time.
Whiskey knows. Calling us losers. Well,
it happened. We lost by 1 fucking point.
You know what? We haven't done a lot of whole smack talk, but now we can talk smack about Dusty Dan. Friggin' cheater. The only way
who cheated twice.
He's not Dusty Dan, he's Dirty Dan.
Yeah. Well, I love Dusty. I can't say anything about Dusty. He's the man.
No, we called it. He's like, dude, Dusty's gonna win.
Yeah, we said like Dusty has a fucking pound and a half. I mean, I'm just mad because if I just would have went back and said that shit was a rye, I would have won, and it's gonna haunt me.
I mean, if I just didn't crack open a Bud Light, I probably would have put you guys in the dust.
The Nulu thing, I was crying. Did you like Nulu? I was like, what the fuck is he talking about?
You didn't hear my explanation for it, so I got to do it again. I said peerless. I said 96 proof.
Yeah.
I then heard Matt saying, Jason, elaborate more. Jason, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, this can't be anything that I guessed. This has to be something weird. This has to be somebody's pick or something, just, whatever. So I just, in a spur of the moment thing, I guess Nulu, which wasn't even part of the states
exactly.
that was listed. But, I had no other guess. That's the problem. I had no other guess. I didn't know. I knew it wasn't, at that point, I knew it wasn't peerless, and that was my initial guess. So, I mean, even if I said new riff, he would have asked me the same thing. What kind? I don't know. Yeah. What do you mean, what kind?
What's your favorite sandwich?
What's my favorite sandwich? Man, that's a tough one. Like, what do you mean? Like, are you talking like from a specific place? What's your favorite sandwich, Jason?
Oh, it's the Pastrami Reuben from Katz's Deli in downtown New York City, baby.
See, we don't have that kind of crap here.
That's my favorite sandwich of all time. That's the sandwich I dream about, but I can never get it. So if I'm just talking about a sandwich that I just like to get that I can like actually go out and get like here, it's very simple. It's fresh tomato and fresh sliced mozzarella with basil, salt, pepper, and some balsamic vinegar on like a toasted roll. That's my favorite sandwich. I could eat that all day. Oh, I'm sorry, and a little prosciutto in there too.
You know mine is?
Peanut butter and jelly?
No, well, yeah, that one. If I had to pick my favorite basic sandwich, gosh dang right, peanut butter and jelly. You can't beat that.
Well, what's your
Peanut butter and jelly beats up grilled cheese.
Come on, well, like a caprese sandwich, bubble bath bourbon, but with some prosciutto on there.
So, my favorite sandwich, and this is going to be really weird and really specific and really cheap.
Don't say fucking ham and cheese, dude. You're gonna say
no. Subway, the store.
Oh dear God, dude! You lost so much credibility.
Just listen. Just listen. It's more than just the taste, Jason. It's more than the taste.
Okay.
Subway. Italian BMT. So you're Italian, so Jason BMT.
Yeah, once you say Italian, you're done.
Italian. You put some oil and vinegar on it.
Yeah.
And then for the drink, you get a mezzo mix. And if you don't know what that is,
dude, I don't
need to talk crap about my sandwich.
I don't need Subway, so I don't know what's on the sandwich besides oil and vinegar? What the hell's on it?
You just do some lettuce, but it's all the meat and cheese in the sandwich.
Oh, so they like run it through you get all the meats?
Yeah. No, there's like I forget the 3 meats they put on there. It's like salami, ham, and something else. I don't know. Pepperoni.
Oh, dude, you're killing me. You're killing me, Smalls.
Mezzo mix. It's Coke mixed with orange Fanta. Okay.
Well, so with my sandwich, so when I'm in Manhattan and I go get my Katz's Deli pastrami and half pastrami, half corned beef Reuben, that's like sliced right in front of you. I always have a Doc's cream soda with it. That's like the best combination in the world. Yeah.
Now, here's the thing, Jason. So I'm about to get everyone's like, "What the heck, man? What the heck?" Listen, I'm about to win back all credibility. When I was at Airborne School, there was a Subway right down from us, and we were allowed to go there. And one of the guys I always went with, he always got this same sandwich. And I was like, okay, I'm going to try this sandwich. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. It was the Italian BMT with oil and vinegar. And I was like, yeah, that's fine, dude. That's just like a sandwich. I get stationed in Germany, and there's like no American food there at all. But we did have a Subway. And nothing. It felt so good to go into that Subway and order that stupid freaking Italian BMT with oil and vinegar. I'm telling you, it just when you miss home and then you have that bullcrap sandwich.
All right, now you're gonna put an emotional spin on it. Now you're killing me.
That's what I'm saying. You guys dog it. You dog it, but I ate that sandwich. I was pure bliss.
I could see it.
This is the best sandwich ever, man.
I can see how, like, if you're stationed somewhere and that's like the one thing that's familiar to you, it could be pretty amazing.
I was like, dude, this is home. This freaking Italian BMT.
Do you have a good local deli near you? Like a good Italian deli?
Dude, I'm telling you, man, like this place is a desert. We have tons of barbecue. You want some barbecue? We got you.
Come on, you have to have like a decent like deli there where you can get like some good like boar's head, good cold cuts. Come on.
Some what?
Cold cuts, like some good sliced meats.
If we do, I don't know about it.
You have a butcher somewhere near you. You have barbecue. You got to have a butcher.
Yeah. So here's the thing though, man. I'm telling you, it's weird. Like the butcher shop. I mean, really, all that I am familiar with him is like you shoot a deer and then you take it and you get it processed, and he's the dude doing it. Like, I don't know. He's not cutting meat. He's not cutting ham.
So if you have a decent butcher, look for a decent butcher in your area that makes actual sandwiches. And I'm telling you, just get some mozzarella, some tomato, again, you could do your oil and vinegar, salt, pepper, and some sliced prosciutto and some basil, and just put that on a nice toasted freaking sandwich. I'm telling you, you're never gonna go to Subway again.
I mean, Jason, you just come down and visit, man. I'll show you the desert, man. We'll go explore the plains. You'll see.
I think you and I just need to go to New York so you could have a real sandwich.
I would gladly. Yeah, I was at airborne training at Fort Benning. Yep, that was some good old times. Airborne school.
So were you jumping out of planes and shit, dude?
So I went to airborne school. I did not go to an airborne unit because I freaking exploded my knee. So I was not allowed to jump out of airplanes anymore.
Oh, dude.
So I was at Fort Benning at airborne school, and then I went to a freaking mechanized unit. So tanks and crap. We did not jump out of airplanes.
Oh, yeah, look at that, too. T. Hutch says he loves the muffaletta sandwich. That's a pretty legendary sandwich.
The what? Muffaletta?
Yeah, muffaletta sandwich.
See, man, I've never even heard of that. I don't know what that is. Muffaletta. Muff?
Muffaletta.
You know, I know what muff is. What's muffaletta?
Muffaletta is it's copa ham, mortadella, salami, provolone, ham, more mozzarella. Yeah, it's and then you basically stuff it with like an olive spread. Like if you like olives, you put some like olive like tapenade or like an olive salad on it, and you freaking toast that down and you eat it. That'll make the heart pump really, really strong for you.
I don't know what muff means to you. What it means to me is not a muffaletta sandwich.
You don't want to have any of that muff?
Not on a sandwich.
Look, not on my fucking sandwich.
I mean, Ronald Olafsbø. Randall, what the heck?
Is that Miss Pac-Man?
I think he saw my shocked face on the muffaletta sandwich.
Oh shit!
I don't know, man. Like, okay, it's like around here, and you can answer this. I feel like you're in the general vicinity. We made a Philly cheesesteak the other night, right? And I was like,
nice.
Do people in Philly, do they eat this? Is it just called, do they call it a Philly cheesesteak there?
Yeah, see, but the difference in Philly, though, they go to the smaller places that make epic Philly cheesesteak sandwiches rather than the ones that the tourists go to. So if you really want to know where to get a perfect, just like an amazing, the best Philly cheesesteak, you got to ask a local where to go. You got to ask a local, like, what place has like the best Philly cheesesteak? I'm not going to Geno's. I'm not going to these other places that are like tourist destinations. They'll tell you where to get a real amazing Philly cheesesteak.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. I'm so used to the Americanized crap. Like this is what they eat in Philly. No, it's not.
Yeah, see, like you have the cheese whiz that people put on Philly cheesesteaks. I don't like that. I like my Philly cheesesteak with provolone. That shit's delicious.
Yeah, they just call it cheesesteak there, huh?
Yeah, just cheesesteak. Yeah, it's just let's get a cheesesteak.
All right, now let's ask let me get something else. I'm just gonna drink this because it's right here.
Yeah, I want a sandwich so fucking bad now.
I do too. I'm actually pissed off.
Dude.
But now you might want a pizza after what I'm about to ask.
Pizza.
And this might just be because we also don't have a good pizzeria or anything. Hey, that's what I just had, man.
Yeah.
Which batch is that?
This is the new 15. I have like three. I have like 3 of these. I love them.
I just had it.
I'm actually gonna have some of my Lux Row pick. It's freaking delicious. That's the Rebel. I want the Ezra.
So describe to me what makes the best pizza. And I'm talking, I want to know specifically the crust of a pizza.
Well, I mean, for me, it's the crust, but it also depends on what type of crust you like. Stuffed crust is a novelty. Whoever invented that shit is probably half genius and half asshole, because there should never be cheese in the crust. You got to have just a pure, delicious crust, but I can see why people love stuffed crust. For me, I love coal fire or like super hot, like coal oven pizza. I love the char it gets on it. It might happen to do with, the type of, with bourbon too. I love getting some of that oak char and smoke in a bourbon. So I love that on a good pizza crust, but I like thin crust pizza with like fresh tomatoes, fresh mozzarella cheese, a little bit of garlic, a little bit of fresh basil, nothing crazy, just fired in an oven that's like at 650 degrees, cooks in like freaking 2 minutes, and you're done. That's my favorite type of pizza.
Oh, the chat is absolutely incredible right now. I do not like thin crust, and I feel like a lot of, and maybe this is just my skewed opinion, I feel like real pizza, according to people who get to have the legit stuff, it's all about thin crust.
Yeah, it's the thin crust.
I guess it's more about the toppings. To me, I want sustenance. I want a thick, bready bullcrap, super cheesy, super bready.
Yeah, so Lennox Cat, Colin Murray, even Young Pei Chang, they all called it. My favorite is Neapolitan style pizza. That's my favorite. It's my favorite pizza.
See, I don't know. I've also never had it, so I don't know. But I'm like,
so Neapolitan style is like it's a thin crust, but when it cooks, you get like that big bubble, like that nice big bubbly, like black and charred, a little bit of like the thick crust, like around the edge, like like the very edge of it, but it still stays thin and flavorful and sweet and spicy. Oh my God, there's nothing like when I went to Italy and I actually had some like proper Napolitan pizza. Changed my life. Haven't had any pizza, not even near that good, ever since I've been home.
There's one for you. What's your pick for a New York pizza joint?
Man, best New York pizza joint. That's tough. There's a place that's actually I'm not gonna fuck with everyone, and I'm gonna say Ray's Pizza because it's like let me see here. So, man, I gotta think. The last time I was in New York, I mean, there's one place right outside of Madison Square Garden. It's not a Ray's Pizza, but it's they do the big. They do the huge New York, the triangle slices. That stuff's freaking delicious, but it's I can never remember the name of that place. I just always remember like where it is. It's got like a name to it, like not Ray's. I think it's like like Johnny's Pizza or some shit.
What do you? So you're you're in Ohio. How far? I feel like there's a pretty big divide between like Chicago pizza and like New York pizza.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for
So,
sure.
and I feel like you know both worlds. So, which one?
Oh, for me, yeah, it's easily New York pizza. I mean,
What makes it different?
Chicago. Wait, you asking me about Chicago versus New York?
Yeah.
Chicago pizza is deep dish, man. That's like another meal in itself.
So it's just its own thing.
It's its own thing. It's another deep dish pizza is a whole nother type of like entity. It's ridiculous. But my favorite two pizza spots in Brooklyn, I would say Brooklyn is where you want to go to get really good pizza in New York, proper New York pizza. One is DeFara. That's where you want to go, DeFara Pizza. That's probably my favorite style of pizza that I've ever had. And then there's also Spumoni Gardens, which makes a little bit of a thicker style pizza. But if you get the Neapolitan style, those are my two favorite places in New York. There's also a very, very small place in New York, in Brooklyn, that I love called Barboncino's. That's like probably the closest thing I've had to Neapolitan style pizza in the United States, outside of Italy. So it's in Crown Heights, I believe. Crown Heights, Brooklyn. So
I guess I'm just, I'm used to like Pizza Hut stuffed crust pizza, the little Caesar's $5 pizza. That's what I'm used to, man.
I mean, I can even make you a really good pizza if you want to, man. If you ever visited, Ohio, I make a really damn good homemade pizza. So
I'm pretty limited in my cuisine. I mean, I lived in Germany, so I've had tons of German dishes and Turkish dishes. The Turkish people were huge over there. Kebabs, donors, and stuff. So
Turkish people, they're into like their dips and their meats.
I'm telling you, there was this Turkish guy. I don't know how he had permission to be on the army base, but he did. And he had a little shop in the parking lot, and he just made doner kebabs and stuff. He just shaved the meat and made these awesome, some of the best sandwiches ever in his little crap shack. It literally looked like it was just run down, but that dude made the best food.
Oh man, 13 and 18 Shelby is telling me they got a guy in Chattanooga that makes River Street Deli when you come to Chattanooga. He has a muffaletta too. Oh shit.
Well, shoot, if I'm gonna be there, I'm gonna try this muff-aletta.
Do you like
some extra muff on that?
Do you like olives? Do you like are you an olive fan? Because if you love olives, then you would love the muffaletta.
I like black olives.
Yeah, then you'll probably like the muffaletta then. Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of green olives though.
Well, I mean, yeah, some muffalettas use black or green, or they do a mix of both. So it depends on who's making it. Master Jump, do you have a wood-fired pizza oven? No, but my next house will have one for sure. Oh shit! Where did Trev go? Did we lose Trev? We might have. Oh, he's back. You all right, man?
So
I thought the murderer came and took you out.
My mouse has a back button, and I accidentally clicked it, and it took me back to the loading screen. Never clicked that one. I was trying to click that comment you were reading, and I clicked the back button.
Yeah, Kalamata olives. Yeah. Do you like gladiator movies? Yeah, I grew up with gladiator movies, and obviously
like
my favorite.
The movie Gladiator? Yeah.
Movie Gladiator is amazing.
It sounds like Trev needs a Master Drum cooking lesson. I remember, didn't you did a like breakfast live stream before?
Yeah, it was me, I Was She Wines, and the Junkies. We did a waffles and whiskey live stream.
Yeah, well, guess what? Now it's going to be friggin' whiskey and pizza.
Yeah, I was actually Young Pei Chang knows. I've been thinking of doing. I have this recipe for a cast iron skillet steak that I make with a bourbon cream sauce. I've been thinking of doing that video and filming how I make it. So
Dude, do it.
yeah,
That would be awesome.
thinking about it. I think
Yep.
I think
Quit
I
thinking.
think I could do some like cool cinematography for that and make it really cool. So
You ever seen a grown man naked? Get out of here, Donnie.
oh yeah, Donnie's notorious for falling asleep during streams.
He always calls me the next day and is like, yeah, so I fell asleep about this time.
Yeah, whiskey and pizza pairings. Who's going to complain? That's pretty. That's a good call.
What? No. You ever been to
So
Turkish prison?
So eating German food and Turkish food. What's the weirdest thing you've ever eaten?
Weirdest thing?
Like the most off, like funky thing you've ever eaten. Like something that you said, it's there, I'll try it, or something that just was, I don't know, something like to you, you never thought you would ever have eaten, but you did because
Okay, so I wouldn't say this is totally weird, but to me, it was strange. So this one time, I was like, man, I really want I want like China buffet, right? I want that American, you just load your plate up with friggin' Chinese food, China buffet. And there was a place in one of these German towns, China buffet, and I was like, man, we got to go there. So we went there, and they had a what do they call it? You get to you pick raw food and stuff, and you like a hibachi type thing. They'll cook it for you.
Okay.
And they had this whole bar with all of these meats, and I'm talking every meat that you could imagine. They had it. I'm talking antelope, freaking all these African wild beasts they had on the thing. So like they had kangaroo meat, they had just this random crap, and I literally tried. I picked a piece of meat from every animal on that thing, and I had them cook it up for me so I could try it. So that to me, being over there, eating kangaroo and like people eat kangaroo.
Yeah.
Who does that?
I don't know. Australians, dude. I don't know.
I don't know, man. And that's a weird thing for eating in Germany, kangaroo meat, but that's where I had it, and that was the weirdest thing I tried over there. They had little squids, and I'm talking the squid still had the eyeballs, and it was an entire squid, and you could just throw that on the grill. So, and I ate that, of course. I mean, I tried everything.
Yeah.
It was just weird to me. Take the eyeballs out, man. It's looking at me. You're just going to grill that up and let me eat it?
Tim Evans said sweetbreads cooked at a good restaurant. Yeah, sweetbreads are weird. What's your go-to whiskey when eating pizza? I like rye whiskey with pizza for some reason. I don't know what it is.
Do you think it's just the rye? It reminds you of bread?
I think that's what it is. Like a bready, like rye that has a little spice. It goes good with the sweet sauce from a pizza.
Do y'all know anything about Debonair?
Dude, Debonair Distilling.
Jason, take it away. Debonair Distilling Company. I don't know anything about it.
Debonair didn't really work, dude.
What's Debonair?
Yeah, it's I believe the distilling company I think it's called 28 Mile. I think they make it. Trying to remember what I heard about Debonair. I think it's
cherry and cognac.
I know it's a blend. I know. I think it's like a blend of some young and some higher age stuff. But yeah, it's one of those blends. Like put it in the category of like what Penelope is doing. The Stellum bourbons. Like think of like a good blend, like high age and low age stuff.
I don't even know where it's from.
I can't say I've tried it. So hey, Shayla the Whalers in the house.
She should be sleeping, but oh well.
Shayla the Whaler.
That's what we all say.
Yeah, I should be sleeping right now too, but my girlfriend's upstairs. She wasn't really feeling well, so she went to sleep before me. I was like all wired and jacked up after ADHD's stream. I was so pissed.
It felt weird, man. Like you don't miss many Wednesdays, but you get in such a habit when I didn't go live before ADHD whiskey, and I just felt weird. It didn't feel right.
Yeah, I mean next week we're going to be live from Kentucky, so I hope the internet is good there. So we'll see.
Nah, it'll be fine. Just steal all the hotel's bandwidth. It's fine.
That's what I got to do. Yeah, Shayla the Whaler.
Let me scroll down a bit. I'm way up there. Yeah, so, I'm just trying.
So what were some of the other like picks tonight that surprised you? I think the Jack Daniels.
We didn't even get through everything. We stopped at C. We didn't even get to C.
I was totally convinced that D was a Barton product because it was so damn spicy and hot. And then when he said Jack Daniels, it made so much sense, and I was so pissed.
I'll be honest. When he said Jack Daniels, I mean, that's all I got. It was clear as day, and I felt like a total idiot. But there was something about it that was like, dude, there's even on the nose, I was like, man, there's a little something weird. Maybe it's finished. And then when I tasted it, it was so drying on my tongue.
Remember that shit's 130 proof. So.
Yeah. But, I don't get that on anything else. Like, not that drying to me. Alex Bruyere. I am the ambassador of Canadian Mist. I don't see any reviews of our product.
Yeah, and you won't.
Well, I got some Canadian Club right here next to me.
Do you really, dude? Oh, you're a brave man.
Worst stuff I've ever had.
You're a brave man.
Okay, it's not the worst stuff I've ever had, but it's not good. Nope. I'll pass on that one, Alex.
The Bourbon Ranch, hey man, don't know why one told you this, but you had a little boogie hanging out the whole stream.
Listen here, Jason.
Yeah,
listen right here.
You had a little bat in the cave?
No, I did not. And I also saw him. He came into ADHD Whiskey stream. He's like, wow, Jason's looking great. Dan is look at his button shirt looking all fancy. Trev's looking like an idiot. I saw you, Jason. You come in there firing bullets at me.
Oh, shit.
He came in hot and heavy.
Yeah.
So, I was obviously totally wrong. I guessed 113 proof on D, which was like 130 proof.
Yeah.
But right when I sent it, I was like, no, that's way higher proof. But I was like, I already sent it. I can't change it. But I still stuck with that whole finished thing in my head.
Yeah, it definitely didn't come off finished to me. That was one thing I was pretty confident in, that shit was not finished. But the proof on it, it's funny, like the proof on it I nailed, the being not finished I nailed, but man, I really thought it was something from Barton, I said 1792. I thought it was like a 1792 foolproof pick because it was so hot. And I'm like, there's only a couple things I drink that hot, and the Jack Daniels didn't even enter my mind because it wasn't coming off. It wasn't coming off like a Tennessee Jack Daniels, man.
That's what I don't get it, because like I never once thought Jack Daniels until he told me that's what it was. And then that's when I go back to it, I'm like, that's clear as day, Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's again, I mean, you think about the, not only trying to figure it out, but man, that 30 seconds goes like this, and you're trying to rack your brain about what the fuck it could be, and it just goes like it's tough.
like I said, it's like it takes you 15 seconds to even start truly rationalizing what you're drinking. It's like you take all this time to say, okay, is it this? Is it that? It's not that. It's not that. And you look up, you got 15 seconds. Well, okay, well, then what is it? And then you start going back and you're like, okay, maybe it's this. And then you have 3 seconds and you're like, well, I have to just go with what I'm getting.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's really, really fast.
It is. It went so fast. I didn't have enough time to, it's not an excuse, but the time crunch is very tough. You don't have enough time to analyze it. I mean, I think, for anyone that's able to like nail the analyzing of something like that fast, I mean, you got my respect, because that's tough to do.
Well, that's what I told you before. I was like, dude, the hardest part. I mean, we've talked about this like all week. I was like, dude, the timing is the hardest part to me, because it really screws with you.
I mean, I'm literally like, he's like, okay, go. And I'm picking up the glass and I'm just trying to get a nose on it. And then I look up and there's like 10 seconds left. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I can't need more time. Like,
you're like over there like, man, okay, that first, let me plug a nostril. You're looking around, you keep looking up. Everyone else, like Dusty Dan's over there, like with his phone typing. And I'm like, I'm still smelling this. Is that Street Fighter 2 game behind Jason, or is that a Zoom filter?
No, that's Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition, man. That's my favorite game of all time growing up. And now I own that shit, and I love it.
What's up, Ben? Ooh, this will be interesting. Predictions for the next round's matchups will go.
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, it's like, they said like a lot of the brackets were like busted because like some of the favorites didn't win. I mean, I was lucky enough to have a good following tonight. Like people said, oh, we think he'll win, but just didn't shake out that way by 1 fucking point. But I think, I don't know. Like I thought personally it was I thought the 2 people that were going to win was either, and I didn't think I was going to win just based on how shitty I am at trying to figure out proof. So between Dusty Dan and Primetime Michael Klein, those were my 2 favorites going in. And Michael Klein got out in the first damn round. So now it's, I'm going to still stick with Dusty.
I think it's probably going to be the people who were like, Drums and Drams and Dusty Dan, who are a little more like, I don't know, they just seem so serious about it. They just seem so locked in. I feel like it's going to be one of them who are just so, I'm going to win. I'm just going to go in and I'm not screwing around. There's no way, like Dan Shook, he ain't going to win.
Well, I mean, yeah, and also Bobby from my Whiskey She Wines.
Bobby,
he kicked ass.
I feel like he's goofy, but I feel like when he goes to tasting, he's locked in, and it's like that's it.
Yeah, I agree with Jason Busey. I totally thought Sarah from It's Bourbon Night was gonna fucking nail it, and she was out in the first round. So, I think a lot of it is, I mean, it's not so much luck, but it really depends on not only how you are in that 30 seconds, but also what's in the flight, what's following what, and what you can pick up. Like tonight, it was just like it was crazy. I had a really fun time tonight. I would love to do like every blind I do now. I want to do like that type of challenge, like trying to pick up stuff within 30 seconds. It's cool.
No, I think it's gonna be someone just. It's got to be Bobby, Cam, Dusty, Dan. Like those are the dudes I think to look out for.
Yeah, I would say Bobby.
Savant for the win. Dan's not gonna win. Grease is not gonna win. They're just not. They're fun and they're ridiculous. They're not gonna go into the finale. They're not gonna make it to the finale. I don't think. Yeah. These dudes who are just so locked into the zone. They're in it to win it.
See, one Mo Cast makes a good point though. Like Dan, he'll just smell it, make a decision, and goes with his gut, and it's usually pretty close. I think that's the best way to do it. I think for me, and I don't know about you, but I'm overanalyzing everything in my head, what it could be. I'm thinking about stuff that Matt has and what he's reviewed. And maybe if I did less of that, maybe my gut would have been a little bit better. But I was overthinking everything.
Okay, I would say if Dan can get out of like like the Grease ridiculous, maybe I feel like he has a better chance.
Yeah.
Because Dan, he's kind of like, that's what I'm going with.
Yeah. And listen, sometimes that works.
No, and I feel like with his, with ADHD Whiskey's rules and the way he sets it up, I think that's almost the way to do it.
Yeah, if I just had, I feel like if I just had a little bit more time with each of those drams, I think I would have done better. But 30 seconds was tough, man. Because I was starting to figure it out once we were doing tasting. I said Heaven Hill was Beam, and man, the one that killed me too was the age on the one that you nailed. That did not taste like it was that old, and that one killed me too.
See, that's what's weird, man. Like some of these, you're like, yeah, I didn't get that at all. Like on the Jack Daniels, like, yeah, that wasn't finished at all. And then to me, I'm like, that was clear as day, 14 or 15. That was older. So it's weird.
It definitely tasted older. I just didn't think it was 14 years old. It was pretty crazy.
Now, something we haven't talked about, and I feel like is a major topic, and I feel like it was really overlooked. On C, I was the only one who called that a rye, and it was a rye.
Yeah.
Not a wheater.
What was C again? I forgot.
Knob Creek 15.
Oh, that's right. Knob Creek 15. I'll tell you what. I fucking hated that Knob Creek 15. When I reviewed it, I hated it. And I don't know. It didn't. It had a funkiness to it, and I think I took that as a wheated. I think I took that as a wheater, rather than an older like funky bourbon.
I think.
Yeah, I actually won the tiebreaker whiskey A if it would have happened, but it never got to that point. I should have taken the whole thing with guessing the New Riff Rye. That was my biggest mistake. I could care less about everything, but the New Riff Rye, that's the one I should have called out. That's my biggest regret from the whole thing.
I should have taken the whole thing, but
I knew it was
you cheated.
Yeah, I knew it was New Riff. I knew it was a New Riff single barrel. I just, for whatever reason, I didn't say it was a rye. I said it was a bourbon. So
I feel like I should have taken the whole thing because you cheated. Dusty Dan cheated.
How did I cheat?
You cheated, man.
How did I cheat?
I don't know. Somewhere.
You just say it.
You cheated, though.
All right. I cheated.
I should have won, man.
You cheated with your Bud Light palate.
No, that The C, I called it Lux Row because it was so the nose was so weak. It was like just nothing and a tiny little bit of nut. And I'm like, maybe that's just a Lux Row product.
Yeah,
I mean, I
hated
drove
that.
by Lux Row.
I hated that 15, and that one threw me off because I haven't gone back to it since I reviewed it. I hate that fucking bourbon.
I mean,
and of course he puts that in the blind, and I'm like, Jesus! Out of all the bourbons he picked, Knob Creek 15. It's like shit. I was, that one killed me.
it makes me wonder, like, that is the reason why they're taking away all those 15-year-old Knob Creek picks. Is it? I mean, I feel like some of that allocation goes to their 15-year that bottle. I feel like the rest of it goes to other people.
I mean, yeah, it might, but
Who put whose nutsack on whose drum set?
well, we tied, so we both kind of,
We kind of both rubbed each other, like we rubbed each other's nuts on each other.
That's a terrible way to say it, dude.
We rubbed each other's drum sets.
Yeah.
I'm not going there.
Oh, Drums and Drams is here. What's up, man? Cameron.
Yeah, he's got a concert tomorrow. He should be in bed.
Yeah, he should be in bed freaking practicing those xylophone skills.
Yeah, Beethoven, go to bed.
Beethoven.
Still in the competition, you freaking Mozart cover band. Friggin' Cam. The two best drummers get eliminated from the contest. Whatever.
Yes, Beethoven. Go to bed.
Well, I think that's a good wrap.
Yeah, I'm ready to join my lady in bed. So I think it's time.
I'm ready to go into the kitchen and friggin' find a goddamn sandwich at this point.
You know what I'm having for lunch tomorrow, right?
No, I don't want to hear it.
No, I'm having a sandwich.
Probably a really good one too.
I'm going to get there's one like really good deli near me that I'm gonna go get a freaking mozzarella, prosciutto, tomato, basil sandwich with salt, pepper, and vinegar and oil. Oh, it's the best.
A muffalata.
No, I'm not getting the muffalata. I hate olives, so I can't do a muffalata.
Yeah.
Drums and Drams. Jason's Deli is an embarrassment. They should not. Even though my freaking name is Jason, I hate that. There's a Jason's Deli like chain here in Ohio, and it's a travesty of a deli. Nope. It's not a deli. But people go there because they give you free ice cream if you buy a fucking sandwich.
I mean, that's a good deal, man.
I know, dude, but the sandwich isn't worth it. Sorry.
Did they give you free muff with your muffalata?
That's the only way I'll eat a muffalata if I get free muff.
Because that might be worth it. Well,
that was Sam says used to be my lunch spot when I taught in Dublin. Oh, dude, this is why, like, when you live in New York and you have the delis and the sandwiches that are there, that's the number one thing I miss about New York is the delis.
Man, people are aggressive.
Yeah, shut it, Jason. Oh, Katzinger's. Yeah, Katzinger's is a decent deli. Jason's Deli has an amazing salad bar. Well, I mean, you go in there for salad. It's a deli, though, dude.
Jason, why are you eating a friggin' salad at a Jason's Deli?
If I'm going to something called a deli, I want myself a sandwich. And I ain't getting that shit at Jason's Deli. Oh, my God. Yeah, Katzinger's, I agree, Colin. That's the shit. That's where you go get a good sandwich in Ohio. Yep. Yeah, good balsamic is the key. Also, the perfect amount of, like, salt and pepper on there. Man, I'm so fucking hungry right now.
Dude, I'm about to go destroy. I don't care what it is. It's about to be destroyed.
You know what I am going to make, though, because you brought it up? I'm going to have a little PB&J before bed.
Hey, that might be the key to all of this.
All right, man. Well,
But yeah, that was all. That was fun tonight, competing against you again
yeah.
and losing. Technically, I feel like I still lost to you. So
Yeah. I mean, I feel like you know, I had a good showing, but that new riff ride is gonna haunt me for the rest of my days until next year. So we'll see what happens.
I can't wait for your worst whiskeys, and that's gonna be like number one. This is the worst freaking thing I've ever had.
Yeah, yeah, dude. But all right, man. Well, thanks for having me on. This was a lot of fun to do a little wrap up, and I love you, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Yep, love you too, man.
All right, cheers.
All right, guys. It's just me. Jason's out of here. Now that he's gone, I totally beat Jason. Not even a inkling. Okay, I'm just kidding. That was a lot of fun, guys. Thank you for joining 2 late night freaking streams. We ended one and went to another one. Scotch Down Under is doing a 24-hour stream. What is he starting now? What the heck? I might have to hop on tomorrow. Holy crap. Scotch Down Under. So everyone, if you have nothing to do for the next 24 hours, at any point, Scotch Down Under will be live. So again, thank you guys. I wanted to do a little something because I didn't go live earlier on my normal time, but we did the late show and that was fun, and we got to hang out and chat about our losing. So lost twice in the ADHD whiskey contest. So, but anyways, I will see you guys next week in another produced episode. I will see you guys next Friday for an actual normal live stream that we normally do. I will see you guys on wherever I see you, on Instagram, Patreon, Gmail, wherever you guys message me. I'm pretty gosh dang responsive. So thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you guys for being you and amazing. I absolutely love you. I'm going to go get me some food because I'm freaking starving. Only 4 hours. I don't know what you're referring to, Ben, but I'm going to get out of here. I love you guys. I will see you wherever the heck I see you next. So take it easy, drink some water, and eat some sandwiches.